Yes, family. Welcome back. I'm happy to be back. Reality Sports Rap, y'all, is back. So, guys, a lot going on here. But I want to check back in with y'all. Just to go do what I love, right? Talk about sports, music, politics, food, anything we want to talk about, right? But obviously, as we always say, this is a sports show. And guys, I'm here to talk about sports to kick off this NFL season. So with all of that being said, y'all, let's get into week one's picks. Now, as you know, this Thursday, the season is going to be kicking off with Lamar Jackson visiting the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. Now, right now, the Ravens have made a lot of changes to the team. And obviously, we all know that Lamar Jackson is got to really start to get over the hump here in these matchups with Mahomes and Kansas City. I just don't see Kansas City missing a beat. They're defending champs. They're at home. They're opening the season. As much as I'd like to take Baltimore in this game to really start to make his push as the best player in the league, I think Kansas City will win this game at home 26-16. Now, the next game is a little bit controversial, as we talked about earlier, but we got the Packers playing the Philadelphia Eagles in São Paulo, Brazil. Now, the Eagles right now is coming off a real big loss with their team. As you know, Kelsey, who was the backbone of that team, has decided to retire. And I think a lot of what happens with the Eagles, it starts there from that All-Pro Hall of Fame center that they had. So it's going to be now Jalen Hurts' team. He's going to have to be that leader that's going to carry this team to perhaps another Super Bowl to try to get over that loss that they had recently. So the Green Bay Packers right now, on the other hand, has probably one of the most dynamic quarterbacks right now in the league. This is a very interesting matchup because it's all going to be about the play of these two positions. While this game is on the road, and I do like the Philadelphia Eagles, I would have to say that I see the Packers really pulling this out in a tough, close game. I think it's going to be defensively, but I could see the Packers and the quarterback play being the difference. I like them 32-20. Now, the next team is my Steelers. And as much as I want to be excited about my Steelers this season, it's really hard to really be excited about a lot of things. I'll to be honest with you. I'm always going to cheer for my team, but right now they're going into a very hostile environment. They're going to be visiting the Atlanta Falcons on the road, which from what I've seen from this Falcon team, it has been a very physical team. And this is what I'm afraid for about my Steelers right now. We just don't seem to be playing on the right level. There's been a lot of changes at the quarterback position, as you all know. One of the things that I don't want to happen is I just don't want to see the Steelers get out physical. And I think that is probably going to be the difference in this game. I'll be rooting for my Steelers, but I see it being a tough afternoon with them scoring points. I do like the Atlanta Falcons in this game, in a close one, 20-16. Now, the third game is going to be, or the fourth game, I should say, is going to be an interesting matchup too. It is not a division game. It's a very rare game, but it's also probably two quarterbacks who I think in the same position. The Arizona Cardinals is going to be traveling east to go play the Buffalo Bills. Both of these teams, I think, has a lot to prove in their own divisions, but we're talking about two of the more the dynamic quarterbacks in the game, with Allen and, of course, Kyler Murray out in Arizona. Now, one thing about this Arizona team is that they do play very well traveling east. I noticed firsthand they came into a very hostile Steelers situation last year late in the game when they were counted out. And I think within 3 weeks, they won 2 East Coast games. So this is a team that will be prepared to battle it out with this Buffalo Bills team that's going to be at home. I do think that Buffalo is set up for minor setback this year. I think this could be a potential upset for them. I do like the Arizona Cardinals coming into Buffalo and winning this game in a very high-scoring game, but I like them 32-30. The next game is the New England Patriots are going to be visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bengals right now has been a darling of the NFL. I think that they believe that a Joe Burrows-led team, a Pro Bowl quarterback level team can really go in and make some noise this year. They had a really rough ending of their season, and I know they're looking to bounce back. And I think they do that against a New England team that's still looking for its identity. I like some of the changes that they did make with their team this year. I think a lot of them were bold, but I don't think we know enough about those changes yet. I think they'll have a rough go in this game. And I do like the Bengals in a big one, 30-6. Now, the next game is another interesting matchup like all these are. But this one hits home a little bit more. It's going to be the New York Giants hosting a very depleted, I would say, Minnesota Viking team. Now, what I want people to understand here is that this Minnesota Viking team has the Giants' number. They have had their number for a few years now. It would not be surprising if this depleted team would go into New York, first game of the year, and actually shock this team. And the reason why I say that is because, as you know, with the New York Giants right now, there is a whole lot of uncertainty with that team. They have a quarterback right now that, to be honest with you, is not living up to expectations. And they decided to pay him a very large amount of money, which was very controversial throughout the league. Now, that controversy gets even better when you let a Pro Bowl running back like Saquon Barkley actually leave your building. Saquon Barkley was the pillar of why that team started to turn the corner. So a lot of people questioning the Giants and their decision there. And by the way, he took a cab ride to his next job. He took a cab ride right down to the Philadelphia Eagles, was actually in their division. Not a very wise move here by the Giants. I think they get shocked at home, 24-14. Next game here is a interdivision game as well. It's one that's going to be about the quarterback position. Rookie quarterback with the Chicago Bears at home, hosting the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans has got rid of their quarterback, starting quarterback for many years, and now are looking at some young players to come in there and fulfill that position. A lot of uncertainty with both of these teams right now, but I just think trajectory-wise, with the Titans losing their head coach, I think it's really going to impact them a lot more. Mike Vrabel was a very good coach with that team. He had a lot of adversity, but this is the NFL. But I will tell you this, one of the things that really jumped out to me that helped hurt this team going into the negative position or going negatively was their past couple of years at the offensive line position. They were depleted at that position and really could never protect the quarterback. They were working on second and third skeleton type crews, guys who some of them didn't really have a lot of experience in this league and had to play in that position. And it really hurt that team. But as they bounce back right now, it's going to be interesting to see what direction they are going to go into. As you know, they traded away Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens. So they lost a lot of pieces here, but I don't see it being enough for them. I do see the Chicago Bears with a rookie that they're excited about, their city excited about. I see them going and getting that win against the Titans. Now, the next game is intriguing too. It's a local for me. It's going to be the Carolina Panthers. We're going to be going down to New Orleans to visit the Saints. Now, there is not a lot to be excited about with this game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you right now. The quarterback positions are two of the ones that are really in doubt here. And while we have a veteran going down to the Saints in Carr, who came over from the Raiders, we still have an unsure quarterback here in Charlotte. And, there's no need to talk about that. Everyone knows the situation there. But because both of these teams are pretty much headed in the same direction, I don't really see much coming from either one of them right now. It's going to be interesting to see what these positions are going to do. But right now, I do like Carolina maybe going in here and upsetting that Saints team at home. I think there's probably a little more downside with the Saints right now than it is more the upside with the Carolina Panthers. I think it would be a good way for them to get their season started. I think they can win maybe a close game by a field goal in this game. So I like the Carolina Panthers in this game. Now, the next one is going to be a shootout, in my opinion. Jacksonville Jaguars is going to be going out to Miami. Now, the Jaguars have a chip on their shoulder. They finished out the last part of the season pretty good, but they really kind of lost their focus in the playoffs, and a lot of it was directed towards the quarterback. Well, I'm not going to put all of that on him. It was a team loss for them, but I think they have a chip on their shoulder right now. And with them being in the same state with this Miami Dolphin team, which everybody is thinking is going to really make a push for their division this year, I think they're going to want to show that they are the big dogs in town. I don't think that they're going to win this game, folks. I think just Miami in this situation, opening the season with this hot weather, this is what they look forward to. I think that Miami is going to hold off a Jacksonville team that will probably outperform them, but just won't have enough to get the job done. I like Miami in this game 31-20. Now, the next game is also an interesting one, but for a lot of reasons that I also talked about earlier when we talked about African-American quarterbacks in the game right now. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best quarterbacks, if not, arguably the best quarterback, is C.J. Stroud. Statistically, he had done things as a rookie that had never, ever been done at that position. And it's not even arguable. However, there's another young man that I think is going to have a lot of success in this league too. And he actually plays for the Indianapolis Colts. C.J. Stroud is going to be going up against the Indianapolis Colts at home, a road game, and it's just a divisional game. But this is going to be the first year, I think, that we're going to have a full Richardson, who was the big-time quarterback out of Florida, who had tore a ligament in his arm and actually missed all of his rookie season. He's going to have a huge chip on his shoulder, and he's going to show why in that same draft class that he was just as good as C.J. Stroud. I do think C.J. Stroud is probably the second best player in this league. That's how strongly I feel about his performance. While I do think Jason Richardson is also going to show us why he is a great player, C.J. Stroud will go in. They'll win that game 38-19. Now, our next game is a interdivisional game. Not a really sexy game, but a very interesting one when we look at the Denver Broncos traveling on the road to go see the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks right now, big changes, right? I don't think we really know a lot about what the identity of this team is yet. Pete Carroll is now gone. Russell Wilson is now gone, as he's been gone for a few years now. And I know they lost a lot of very valuable veterans just because of the change of the climate. One of the things that has been steady about the Seahawks has been the play of Geno Smith. Geno Smith's career got resurrected, as we all know, but he has been very good at that position. That's a good place to be if you're a franchise trying to get back to where you were successful. It's all going to start with that position, and it's great to have a veteran there. Now, on the other hand, we also have young quarterbacks in the Denver Broncos coming into this environment. They just announced they're going to start a rookie in this game to go on the road to what is a very hostile environment up in Seattle. This will be a tough game for Denver. I don't see it going pretty well for them, but it's going to be interesting to see what their rookie quarterback does in this game. If he does play well, Denver is looking for it to bounce back because they have a very good coach that I think is going to get this ship turned around. But I do think the leadership of Geno Smith and what he means to that team, I do like Seattle to come out of this game 28-10. Next game, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are going to go on the road to what I think is going to be a very surprising team in the NFL this year. They go on the road to the Cleveland Browns, which last year had one of the better endings of a season that they've had in a long time. Normally, Cleveland Browns are looking to pack things up around week 9 and week 10. It's just been the nature of that franchise. And not to say that they haven't had great players, great coaching, but it's just they have not finished out seasons in positive notes. It was interesting to see how they did finish this year, and they had a lot to build on. And I think they're going to look to make a statement against this Dallas Cowboy team. This is a team that obviously is in a position right now to be one of the favorites to probably win the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to be a favorite after this game. I think they will be exposed in a lot of different ways. And because they've had changes at the defensive coordinator position, and they have lost a lot of defensive players, I just think it's going to be hard for them to really get a hold of this Cleveland Brown teams. I think that Dak Prescott will play well. I think it will be other aspects of this team that's going to let that Dallas Cowboy team down. So I do see them losing a close one here, 32-30. Next game, interesting one. Another division game, or I should say conference game. But you have the Commanders going down to Tampa to face what I think is going to be the favorite to win that division, the NFC South, in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers had made it clear early on that they had their quarterback. Baker Mayfield finished out the end of last year very solid. I think he did a lot of positive things to really give this team, to give them the confidence, to give them the keys, if you will, to take this franchise to where they want to be, excuse me. But in fairness, this is a kind of a weak division right now. So I think this is and will be expected of them to win that division, which I think they will. Now, I also think that this Washington Commander team is going to surprise a lot of people too. I, in my opinion, thought that the Chicago Bears took the wrong quarterback. I thought that Jalen Daniels was really the better player. I thought he played better in tough situations. He played better in the crunch. I think he played in a better conference in college. And while I'm not going to be the quarterback guru, I wish both of these guys success. But I do think that where this young man, Jalen Daniels, goes, is so goes the Washington Commanders. I think he is that good. And I think he is going to wind up being the face of that division pretty soon. He is going to be a big part of why this team changes the corner. So I do like them. I don't think they're going to be enough to take off Tampa. I like Tampa Bay in that one, 16-10. Now, the next one is going to be the Rams, who are going to go back and visit Matt Stafford's former team. They're going in to face the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions was Americans' darling last year, and as they should be. They had a very fantastic season, and their head coach needs to be applauded for how he was able and continue to be able to turn the culture around for a really bad franchise. I mean, we're not going to sugarcoat this at all, but they are now in a position right now where people talk about this team as being Super Bowl favorites. So they are going to be hosting a Super Bowl champion team that's coming into their home. And by the way, their former quarterback played for their quarterback. Matt Stafford played for the Detroit Lions. So it's going to be some sentimental things here. Last time this happened, Matt Stafford lost that game. I don't think he's going to lose that game this time. I think he's going to go in and actually show why the Rams are going to be talked about as one of these Super Bowl favorite teams and really go in here and knock off a very good football team. I think it will be close, and I think it will be a tough matchup that will go back and forth. But I do like the Rams going in here 22-10. Now, the next game is going to be our final game. Now, this is the Monday night matchup. This, folks, I'm very interested to see how this comes. First of all, it's a very rare game. And for it to be on Monday night, I think it's put there because it's going to be such an important game. And we're going to have the New York Jets visiting San Francisco 49ers on Monday night. So as we start to kind of look at all of the stories that's been floating around about these two teams, this is going to be a matchup that is going to be won by defense. This is what's going to be showcased in this game. Now, we have an old guard in Aaron Rodgers who's finally, hopefully, we're going to see him play a full game. He's been with the Jets now for a year, 2 years, second year now, and we really haven't seen anything from him. I just don't know what this team is. I don't know what they are going to be without him because we have not seen him in any participation. So it's hard for me to say really what's going to happen in this game on an offensive side. But I will say this, the Jets defense is a real deal defense. It's going to keep them in the game. But I do think that with everything that has also been in news with the 49ers right now, and them also obviously being talked about as a Super Bowl champion, they're going to have to take care of business in this game. And I think they're going to try to take care of business very early in this game. It might be a close game for most of the part, but I do think the 49ers are going to do what they have to do to knock off this Jet team on the road. I like them 35-25. So with all that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoy this football season. I'm looking forward to it. I think as you guys start to turn the page after we watch the games this week, this week 2 that is coming up for the NFL season is monstrous. I look forward to going over these picks with you in that season for the second week of the season 2. God bless y'all, and I'll see y'all this season.
I would like to thank the whole entire world for absorbing such a special moment with Busta Rhymes. Now man. I just want to keep y'all all posted. Keep in mind that we ain't got too much time to take time for granted. No. We need to make all the moves necessary to get it all before they try to cut us off.